How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about ChargePoint. I know it's been a little bit since I did a video for you guys, but hey, I'm going to hit you with the update, especially since the plan is to get the infrastructure bill passed completely by the coming week. So let's get into it. So before we get started, of course, we got to go over the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to be going over is the technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. This is very key. We want to know support and we also want to know resistance. I want to make sure that you guys are not overpaying and you're getting it at a decent price. And then secondly, we're going to be taking a look at Fintel, the recent institutional ownership, and as well as the short interest information. Are institutions loading up on shares? This is good to know because we know if they're trying to do this, they're trying to get a return on their investment. And then secondly, in regards to the short interest, we want to see if it has short squeeze potential. If we force a short squeeze, then of course we could see a strong move to the upside for the overall stock. And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distributions. Were institutions loading up on shares on Friday? Were there any large scale orders? We're about to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get into it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for ChargePoint. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $23.65, being down 1.74%. On the low, it tested $23.45. Then on the high, testing $24.65. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, the volume is at 4.12 million shares that were traded. And as far as for the average volume over 10 trading days, being at 6.838 million shares. Now, when we take a look at the indicators on our chart, we're using the 1-year daily chart. You can see from the RSI down below, we're at 41.45. So yes, we are in the oversold territory. And when we see the indicators on our chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. And you can see it definitely has been pulling back as of late. And of course, since we did have below average volume, we're seeing pressure on the stock price as well. So as far as areas of support are concerned, what we want to see, you want to see continue to hold up right here around this $22.50 level. And then the next area of support where we see a lot of strength is right here at this $20 level. So keeping this in mind as far as for the week that's going to be coming, of course, we have the news about the infrastructure bill. We do know we have an area of resistance right here at this $25 level. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on there. But if we're able to actually get past it, of course, I'm going to want to see us reclaim the 21-day EMA and as well as the 100-day. And of course, we'll see some resistance at that $26 level. But I do feel if we have a lot of buying volume that's coming into the stock, we can easily get here to around $27.50. And then we'd have to see where it would actually go from there. But of course, we know ChargePoint's the kind of stock that I can make some very strong moves within a day. And I feel with this bill, if there's a lot of excitement around it, of course, it can make that move to the upside. But of course, if it does decide to pull back, or maybe it's a buy the rumor or sell the news type of a situation, then of course, as far as these areas of support, I'd want to see them hold up. So let's wait and see what happens. So around Fintel, we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information for ChargePoint. So as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So we can see right away, we're going to take a look at the most recent here. So we could see institutions have been loading up on ChargePoint shares. But if we take a look from the 29th and going forward, as far we have Franklin K2 Alternative Strategies Fund Class A went in with 32K shares, just over that. We also have Global Clean Equity Fund going in with 18,616 shares. We have Cushing's Renaissance Fund, 89,797 shares. We have also Cushion Next Gen Infrastructure, 20,000 shares. Alliance Bernstein, 50 52,700, and Clearview Wealth Advisors going in with 311 shares. So definitely some bullish activity, seeing institution purchasing shares of ChargePoint. So now let's move on to the short interest information. We can see the short volume ratio is at 20.18%. And as we scroll down on the page, short shares availability is at 600,000, updated 17 minutes ago. And as far as for the short ball free rate, it is at 1.43%. Scrolling down further, taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see here for July the 29th, it's at 41.83. And then for the 30th, we have it at 41.27. And these are the numbers coming from FINRA. So definitely ChargePoint has some short squeeze potential here. And with the infrastructure bill, they're trying to pass it for the coming week. If that ends up going through, we could see a lot of excitement coming through this stock and also force a possible short squeeze, which means a strong move in overall price action. So let's be patient, see what happens, but you guys already know for the long term, I definitely do believe in ChargePoint. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for ChargePoint. So we can see here on the inflow is at 15,971, and on the outflow is at 16,339. We had 0 on the large for both. On the medium, we had 8,462, and on the small, we had 7,509. On the outflow side, we had 8,965, and on the small, we had 7,374. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see on the Friday it was 0, and we saw this as well as on the Thursday. We did have an outflow day on the 28th with having a big time green day, which is an inflow day on the July the 26th. And of course, we also had 0 on the 27th. So we did not have any institutions loading up with large scale orders whatsoever on the Friday. But of course, I'm not too surprised about this because many institutions were loading up previously, and we've seen this before, especially since they did an offering not too long ago. And as far as where the price of where it's currently at, it's not too far from that particular area either. So in regards to all of the activity that we're mostly seeing, if institutions are getting involved, it's only on the small scale and as well as on the medium side. With all of that said, let's jump into the final thoughts and go over some more details. So for my final thoughts for ChargePoint, I'm definitely looking forward to the coming week. They were saying, hey, they want to make sure they get that infrastructure bill passed as well. And if that does happen, we can see a lot of excitement around this play because it is going to be impacted due to the fact it is in the EV sector and it is the top charging station as well. Also, when we took a look at Fintel, we could see institutions are loading up on shares. This is of no surprise. We've seen this before previously. And as far as for the short interest is concerned, yes, there is a lot of short squeeze potential in ChargePoint. There's a lot of shorts that want to see this price actually go down. So that's why it's something to always pay attention to the overall volume. If we end up having low volume and there's also selling pressure, of course this is beneficial for all of the shorts. So I want you to keep that in mind. For myself, I believe in the long-term prospects of ChargePoint, and part of the reason being is even if it decides to pull back further from the current price of where it's at, then I'll pick up some shares. Even if it wants to pull back to $10 or something like that, I would still pick up shares because I believe in it long term. As far as trading off of the fluctuations, you're definitely going to want to respect those areas in regards to support when it pulls back, and also knowing those areas of resistance as well. And it's part of the reasons why we covered them. And also, not too long ago in the past week, ChargePoint was also given upgrade in regards to its price, given a $30 price target. Of course, that shows that there's upside from the current price of where it's at. But of course, as far as how I feel about ChargePoint, I'm going to be holding this thing for at least 3 years. So I know by then it's going to be well past $30. But that's just something that I wanted to give you guys a heads up on. So I can't wait to see how this week turns out. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.